Oops, sorry about that. Good afternoon my YouTube friends, it's Margaret here from Emmy's Orchids and it's 12:47 and our temperature is 19.3 in the grow room. It was actually just over 17 when I walked in here this morning, so quite cool. Anyway, I've decided I'm not doing much today. I watered quite a lot yesterday. Some things I didn't water, but all these in, the majority of them are in these little holy pots. And now we have things coming to life. And let me just see if I can just hold this camera better. This one we're looking at is 24k, RLC Yen 24k times Cattleya Memoria Robert Strait. And so this one's already flowered for me, and the other portion of it is in one of the bigger holy clay pots. And so I have had during the winter months the odd little bug on these, and but I noticed yesterday, and you see where we've got little green roots now appearing. This is just in organic media, and if we look there we might have the sign of a root developing. So these get watered on and off. Sometimes they have to go 3 days. Sometimes I manage to water them every 2 days, but not always. Now this is the other portion of it. This one's doing quite well, and this is one of the older leaves. So let's have a look under here. Again, you see, I have to just be careful because all these have had, you know, the odd little bug. That's got a little green growing tip there, and deep in here, and you see them, we have possibly 2 new growths, but you've got to be very, very careful that you don't mess too much. You can definitely see one, because otherwise you'll knock the little green growing tips. There, you see, can you just see it? There. And that root had stopped, and now that's extending. And have we got anything coming through here? I don't think so. And they go on that little hanging rack there. Now, of course, you know, sometimes get lulled into a false sense of spring is here. Well, unfortunately, we're still classed as winter. And it's days like today, where it's dull, and it's we've got quite a breeze, and that breeze is has got a northerly aspect to it, so it is quite cold. Now, what are we looking at here? Can you see? Can you just see in there? And this is, we've got that root there, and we've got another root appearing out of that brack there, and this is a Neophonetia, or now Vanda falcata. It has continued to develop these 2 new growths here and here. This one is just potted up in corkbark. See, I've got something trying to emerge out of there. Can you see that little white area? And that's been there for such a long time. And I thought, well, I wonder if it's a root. But then it's so high up. I mean, it could be a root, but you see that this new growth here, the centre leaf, that's continued, and there we go, you see, that's completely dry now, and won't get watered. We're Saturday today, probably Monday, something like that. Now, a lot of them, when I don't use the tripod, my hand gets cramped, but I didn't want to inhibit myself with the tripod on the table, so I'm trying to do it without. So this one is, let's just, there we are, vandaceous lucernari. There we are. And we've got a leaf turning there, and we've probably got another leaf turning there. This one has got 2 fans, and it's growing from each fan, and with a few of them now, what I've started to do is introduce coconut husk. Can you see? And then that allows a little bit more moisture to be retained in the pot. There we go. I have them, can you see them all here when I water them? This is where they all stay. So they were watered yesterday, and today they'll go back. I'll put them back. Now here's another one which I've introduced coconut husk. This one is Vanda Miniata XL. And again, you see, they do lose sometimes the bottom leaves, but we've got a new tiny little centre leaf there developing, and again, you see, I've introduced this just to keep it more moist. And this is one of the tiny ones. This is Vanda, there we go, lamellata. This is doing it a lot better now. I was a little bit worried about this at one time. It tried to put up a new fan here, but you see I've put a little clip in there to keep it steady in its pot, and we've actually got roots that are going down, so I'm hoping this one will fare a lot better now. But you see, to all intents and purposes, that cork bark looks as though it's dry, but I don't think it is. So let's take you, this is another big one. This is the same as, oh no, this is a different one. This is Vanda Joyce Irene. There we go. And now you have to bear in mind that winter here in the northern hemisphere, for us in England, can be dull. We can have bright days, but the hours, the daylight hours, we're only just coming out of those dark days, and because we're going to 5:45 in the afternoon now, 5:45 before it starts to go really dark. And bearing in mind, in November we were going into the darker days, and by December it was going dark at 3:30. So this one's doing well. I've tried to make them more secure in the pots and tried to give them a little bit more moisture. So I'm what you call just getting them these through that winter period. And I've had a couple of failures, but not many. So we'll look at this one next. And this is the one, Vanda Peaches. This is the one that I took off the square hanger, wooden hanger, and I put Pastoral Innocence on that. Well, this one now, when you see that way, again you see, we could lose that bottom leaf, look, but just underneath, can you see where that root, can you see it there, that green root there, has turned downwards, going down into that pot. Now this is a little bit worse for wear, because I don't think it was staying moist enough, but at the moment that root's an active root and I think it quite likes it. Right, let's have a look what we've got here. Now some of the vandaceous types, we've got this. I'll show you this one first, just hold on. This has got this long leaf that comes down here, and this is Laelia lobata. Now, I've really made an effort this year to try and pull this through the winter. Can you see that green root there? And again, you see, this one is inclined to attract bugs. So I do have to keep my eye on it all the time. We've got this new growth here. Now is that sending a root out? Yes, that's sending a root out, can you see there? We've got this little new growth here at the front, and we've got this bigger growth here. And if you just look down there with this bigger growth, whether I can show you, just in there, we've got another growth coming. So this is sending its roots down, and again I've put some of that coconut husk in, just to keep a little bit more moisture. This one, this is a terrestrial one. This is Phalaenopsis pulcherrima var marmota. We lost a bottom leaf. There we go. That one just got a little bit of distress. And this is really planted in the little tiny bits of bark. But look, can you just see in that corner there, just there, a green root. Now I'm always wary with this one because of overwatering it, but fortunately, whether it likes it or not, it does dry out and then it gets a really good watering. And so I must be doing something right because of that little green root there. And you notice this isn't in an open pot. And these, I'm going to show you these now. This is one of Kathy's. I think this is Gojo Fukurin, no idea. That little leaf there has been developing. We've got a nice green root down there. Now don't forget that this has been a real struggle at times to pull these through the winter months. And I feel very happy that I've got them to this stage already. There you see, can you see the variegation of this leaf there? Now that was last year's leaf, and this one's coming here. Very little roots, and this is there we are. I think that's what that one's called. But I'm pulling that one through as well, and let's just show you this one. Now this one is a little fan off the mini autumn that I've got, and they're division 080521, and it's grown this little leaf here. And I took all these type down to the size of pot, and that enabled me to just water and have them go dry very quickly during the winter months. I don't think I would have fared as well. Now this is the one, this is from Mark, this is, here we are. Now this, I'll show you what this keeps doing. Neophanetia falcata times Phaloquestrius. And this has flowered for me. But what this does, can you see? And this will eventually, this leaf will eventually fall. And for some reason, they rot. You can see at the back there where I've had a rotting occur. And I've no idea. I've no idea how to prevent it. Now that wasn't there yesterday. I wonder. Just hold on. Now I was just trying to see if I could clip this leaf back, but can you see now what I mean about it rotting just there? And that won't survive, because this is what happens. We had that new leaf, and it's developing this new leaf, but for some reason, and you can see I've lost 2 leaves in this area. So I don't know whether it's just a little splash of water, whether it's because they go under the fan area there and it's got a bit chilled with any water on it. I don't know. But let's hope I can hang on to that leaf just a little bit longer. This one here, Holcostylis MS Sunlight. Can you see? And this one is just producing this little tiny new leaf here. We've got one root there, and we've got a little nubbin coming off that root, but we have got a decent root which comes down into this area. This is an extremely slow grower, this one, but it isn't dead, and that's the main thing. Here we go, here's another one. See, we've lost 1 or 2 leaves, but then we've got roots coming, the white ones down there. And this is another Vanda falcata. Seem to have got a lot of them for some reason, whether they have been able to split them up. That's got roots coming out of there, coming out of here, and it's in one of these little holy clay pots. And this one here, which is this one. Let's see if we've got a little root coming through there. And this is another Vanda falcata. I don't know why I've got so many. I mean, that big one you saw initially, that's the only one I bought. So I don't know where these others have all come from. And here we go. I've struggled with this one. Here we are. Let's take this little bit of... There. That's the same, we've already got one of those. But this one's just fared a little bit. It's not done as well. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Let's put that one on there. This is a species one, and this is terrible for getting through the winter because I keep it in here, you see. But this was really, it should be in the other room. But this is Vanda falcata Schutano. And will it survive? It's lost that big fan there. But we've got it through this far, and it's still got roots and they hydrate. And here we go. Do you remember I had three little ones, and I called them the 3 bears? Well, I've only got 2 now. Mummy bear, she didn't survive. This is Daddy bear. Can you see we've got a nice little centre leaf coming, and that sent a root out there, and we've got a root here and a root here. They don't look very good, they've got no green growing tips on yet. And this is baby bear, and it's lost its little centre leaf. Oh, will it survive? Only knows. But it's survived the winter so far. And this one, Cerulson's, look at this. That's all we've got. 1 leaf. 1 leaf. It's anchored in now, but it's got a couple of roots down there. And they do hydrate. So I'm not giving up on it, because I just think, well, that's probably my fault. Let's see if I can just manoeuvre this on this table here. So these are the rest of the pots, and these haven't got holes in them. So these are kind of dendrobiums, and that's gracillicorni. It produced these 2 growths last year, and I've struggled to keep this alive through the winter months. In fact, that cane looks as though it's dead. But so far, because this had, I think this might have had spider mite on it at some point. Can you see what the damage did to the leaves? This one here, I believe, I've only just put this label in, it could be a little Dendrobium kingianum Ellen, and it grew this last cane here, and then it stopped growing and started to die back, so I cut it back. But that's surviving, so I don't throw them out if they're surviving. This one here, I think this is 2 different ones in 1 pot, and again, it must be some kind of dendrobium, and this definitely is some kind of dendrobium. And we've got a nice little shoot coming there, and can you see there in the middle there, that one? I believe that new growth here is coming from this big one. So but if you notice, this one's a lot thicker, so I don't know what kind of dendrobium that is, but that's surviving. And this is another one, and you see that's nice and fat, got a little root coming from it there, and it must be some kind of kingianum. That didn't fare too well, but if we notice this little growth, we've got nice new leaves on that, and that one must have watered it too soon and that aborted, but we've got roots, and that's a nice little fat pseudobulb. So those are all the ones that you see in that area, and they all hang up. It's absolutely throwing it down outside. What I wanted to do was just end up with this bloom here. This is on the Cattleya Love Castle Corenia, and now that looks pink, doesn't it? Well, it's the deepest purple, and that lip is almost burgundy. It is that dark. Now this is the one that gave 1 bloom last year. Look at the markings on the back. And this is just starting to give its fragrance. trying to hold it so there. Don't know whether you can see. You can't see because inside this lip, it's like a yellow, but then it has these striations, very unusual. And if we turn around, just this one, this is the other one. There. Lovely. This sits in the window, of course. And so this is the second blooming I've had off this one. And notice there we've got lots of new little eyes in which it can develop, but I have to be very careful with this one. Well, like with all the orchids. And that one's just got a little leaf that's dying back. And the other day what I did with this one, and this is the Hoya pubicalyx, I've just moved it here, anchored it with a clip and cleaned it all these leaves, every leaf I wiped down, because like with any room or anything else like that, they get dusty over the winter. So that's had a good clean. There we go. And in fact, that's it now, folks. And the rest in here we'll have to can you see how dark it is? Sorry about that. They'll have to fare until tomorrow. That's my Gracum with his new growth there. So thank you for joining me. It's just an update. There's a lot of orchids here, and I just wanted to update you. And I do hope that one, I don't lose that leaf. Goodness gracious. So from me to you, have a good weekend and take care. Bye bye now.